most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Show, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Because we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
All right, listen to us. Stop touching your toes.
Ah.
Do this instead.
That's right, Bob.
We're going to go over the details of why could be a real problem if you're using it as a benchmark in life.
Yeah, it's commonly misunderstood. But
speaking of stretching, we got a giveaway here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going to mix it up here a little bit. So we always give something away. And this week, we're giving away the Stretch EZ by OPTP. Great for stretching for plantar fasciitis and also stretching the hamstring. We got a couple other stretches you can do with it.
Yep.
Go to bobandbrad.com.
Oh, yes.
Go to the giveaway section. You can sign up for a free one. Also, you find it on Facebook, Bob and Brad. If you want a shorter version of us, go to Twitter or Instagram. We got a 60-second version of our program every day.
There you go. Well, Bob, touching your toes. We were just talking about this. And, if you're 50 years old or older, and maybe even younger than that, touching your toes was kind of like the benchmark.
Right.
How fit are you? How flexible are you? Can you touch your toes? It'd be like the big test.
Yeah, and they used to even do it in the Army, from my understanding, as a measurement of fitness.
And it's just absolutely farther from the truth than it could be. First of all, when you bend over, should we go through 3 big reasons?
Sure.
Number one, you're bending over to touch your toes. It puts an incredible amount of stress on your lumbar spine, particularly on your discs.
Right.
If you have a herniated disc or you're approaching a herniated disc, you don't know it, that particular stretch is more than likely going to accelerate it and make it worse.
And even if you don't have one, you are going to certainly, gradually move towards having one if you keep doing it repeatedly.
Right. It does stretch the hamstrings, but there's a lot better ways to stretch the hamstrings than touching your toes. Also, posture. Posture is so important, and we know that because it allows you to breathe better, shoulders work better, neck works better. But when you do this, it rounds your low back, it rounds your thoracic back. It just does everything that you do not want to have happen.
If you just look at pure physics, there's a lot of torque on the low back when you're in that position. And it's not in a good position to handle it when it's bent, flexed like that.
So have we convinced you yet that maybe you shouldn't be touching your toes?
You know what? We know all the arguments against this, Brad. They say, well, if the body was made to stretch like that, why, to have that mobility, why wouldn't you add that mobility?
Right.
And I have no problem with you doing it maybe in a non-weighted position, like if you're laying flat on your back and stretching your back that way. But there's just no reason. We know from seeing thousands and thousands of patients that people who do stretch that way often end up with problems.
I can easily say I have never ever had a patient stretch that way to elongate their hamstrings or get their back better or whatever.
We'd rather have your back actually get kind of locked in place and get strong so they can't even stretch that way, so that it can be safe when it's performing activities.
Well, I wouldn't know if I'd say it can't bend that way. I mean, you need some flexibility, but and going in that direction. Are we going to use the spine for anything, Bob?
Well, I guess I was going to show you. The other thing is, if you are in this bent position a long period of time, you're actually going to stretch out the ligaments too, and those ligaments stay stretched out for a while, and then you have instability at the back too. So I was going to give another example.
Sure. Yep. There you go. So now, what should we do? If you can't touch your toes, what should we do? Because people are always going to ask, and that's a very reasonable and acceptable question. So options. Instead of doing this for your back, we're going to actually say do the opposite. Hands here or here and extend backwards. Now, if you have, there's a smaller percentage of the population, I would say maybe 15, 20%. If you have spondylolisthesis like I do, or stenosis, which as you get older, that's more prevalent, this particular stretch may be uncomfortable. I don't do this stretch, but Bob, go ahead and you can do it.
I do it standing. I also do it laying down, lying down. Got it right this time, Brad.
There you go, Bob.
Putting my hands underneath my shoulders, and I work into this direction. Now, you may only be able to go up this high before your pelvis starts coming off the bed, but eventually you want to get it to this point.
Right.
And you can see I do a lot of these, so I have plenty of mobility in my back, and it comes in handy when I'm trying to maintain that arch in my back as I bend, down to the floor.
In this stretch, and whether you do it laying down or you can do it standing, because this
lying down.
Sorry, English majors. That particular stretch, it does the same motion to your low back as standing. There's different stresses on it, but you know what I mean.
Right. You're getting mobility in your back without putting stress on your back.
So going this way actually is going to help maintain and put less stress on the discs versus that.
Yeah. When you bend forward, where we really want to see the motion coming from is your hips.
Sure.
I mean, you want this part really not very much motion at all, but look, all the motion is coming from the hips.
Right.
So if you want to touch the floor, go ahead and go like this.
Sure. And then work some muscles and maintain some good body mechanics. Now, hamstrings, if you want to get your hamstrings stretched out, again, this does do it, but much better is give you two options. Sure. Bob, why don't you show the one laying down? I'll show.
Well, I'm going to show. Why don't you go ahead and show the other one? And I'll use this strap.
If you're pretty flexible, or if you're pretty mobile and have pretty good balance, I like doing it like this, putting your foot up on a step or a stool, or in this case, the table. Keep that back straight. You're going to flex from the hips. And right now, good posture, I can feel a nice stretch on my hamstrings. If you go like this and round yourself, that's not what you want to do. That's incorrect. Good posture and just lean forward. Breathe and relax. Let the muscles stretch. Hold it for 15 to 30 seconds, or you can do pressure on, pressure off. Bob?
Now, supine, you can do it without a strap. You can just hold your leg up like this and then bring it up that way and stretch. And you're getting a pretty good stretch here.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a strap like this because this is effortless. Then, in fact, I can use the loops right here and really not have to put on hardly any stress at all on my body here, and I can just relax and pull it up like this. My back is nice and straight and safe, and I'm getting a nice hamstring stretch at the same time.
Right. So, I mean, if you don't have one of those and you want to, you can take a towel and put around here. That's
or
a sheet, whatever it is, a belt.
Yeah.
Some tool to help get that stretch. And then you're laying flat, your back is in a relative neutral position. It's a nice way to relax and stretch.
Yeah, just as a indicator here, again, I believe the Army used to use this as a indicator of your fitness, and they've since stopped that too. They've realized that it's not. It's actually harmful.
Right.
So
there's a lot of information that's starting to be accepted.
Right. It's starting to understand when you get a lot of injuries that they're finding out the source could be things like that.
And before we finish this video, there's one more thing I'd like to say, Bob. Why don't you hop off of there?
Sure.
If you ever do this stretch, it's the same thing as touching your toes when you're standing.
Not as much force, but it's still, it's not a good one to do.
So skip that one too. I just wanted to throw that in.
That was a good point, Brad.
Into the video.
Excellent point. Remember, Brad and I can fix just about anything.
Except for
broken heart.
There you go, Bob.
Well, we're working on it.
And we won't stop until we get there. And I don't mean maybe.
All right, thanks.